Our business model is very unique, right?
Okay.
I see a number of players who are yet to have who are in a pre-revenue mode, who are much bigger than us. And we even piloted and pivoted a monetization task last year, and it worked. So when you talk about features, it's an easy one-click login, right? You download the app. It's a lightweight app. You download it. Right now, it's in Android. We haven't yet built it in iOS. We have plans to release in that as well.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel startuplanes.com. And as you know, these are the series of interviews that we are conducting for the promotion of some excellent startups across our globe. So let's get started. Today we will be talking about Shyam Sekar, who is a chief mentor, strategist and startup expert. Shyam Sekar, who is an engineer, he is growth transformation leader with over 2 decades of experience in strategy, business growth, branding, sales, marketing and operations. Traveled across 25 countries. He has also completed an executive management program at Harvard's Business School, Boston, USA. So talking about his startup, he is the creator of a wonderful podcast app. So let's know more about this app and about himself.
Good afternoon, sir. This is More Tanvi from Startup Lanes, and we are really thankful to have you on the board for this interview.
Yeah, good afternoon. Namaste. Nice to see you.
Yes, sir. So I will please ask you to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yeah, this is Shyam Sekar. I'm the founder, creator of Boxit Media Tech. Boxit is a trendy podcast app and Play Store. Besides that, I'm also a startup mentor, judge jury for various startup events across the country. I'm trying to help entrepreneurs build and scale up. And this is our startup, which we have been passionately pursuing for the last couple of years.
Great. So talking about the podcast app, this is the very first time that, we had come up through an app, a podcast app. So I want to know that how did you come up with this idea of startup?
Well, see, whenever we step out of the house or when we do some specific activities like gymming or walking or traveling, we would like to consume some kind of information. And today, of course, most of us use social media, but then it makes your hands and eyes glued to the screen. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, we listen to a lot of music. I do as well. But we can't keep doing that every time. We need to consume. Human mind is such. We humans want to keep consuming something or other whenever we find a time. Right? That's how we become restless. So you need to constantly feed the brains with some contents, whether it is good or bad. So we listen to podcasts, but then you have a lot of discrete places, disjoint places that you get the content. But how do we put it all together in one box and say, hey, this is what it is, you don't need to go anywhere? I think that could be a wonder solution, and that's how Boxit came into existence.
Great. So just now you mentioned that there are various platforms on which podcasts are available, and there are a variety of content in podcast also. So I want to know that how difficult it was for you to cope up in the initial stages.
Yes, yes, you are right. There are quite a few podcasts that have been tried before, and it's still there in the marketplace. The biggest challenge is it's an aggregation platform, right? In an aggregation platform, you have 2 different challenges. Let's say you are a product or service company, you just have to get customers, right? If you have the needs set right, then you will have to get customers. Out here, you have 2 set of customers. I would say 3, I will come to the 3rd later. So 2 set of customers. One, the most important is jockeys, right? People who can actually stream the content. Acquiring this content becomes a very challenging task. And that's not an easy puzzle to crack. Trust me, it's people who run podcasts can clearly understand and validate. It's very difficult to acquire the contents. We pivoted, we tested it for the initial few months. The model worked and we could just scale it up. Today, we have well over 10,000 audio talks. Now, we also have to acquire customers, which can be done through marketing and strategic, connects through the digital space, which anyway we do. So those were the bigger challenges to see why people will use this app and why people will get onboarded here. I think that was a challenge that we cracked the puzzle, and it's going good today.
Great. Sir, as you mentioned right now that there are other platforms as well, and there is content available over there also. So I will ask you that stepping into an established market, what was the gap that you identified?
Yes. Say, for example, if you listen to podcasts, what are the type of genres that you normally tend to listen to? Just an example. What kind of genres that you love to listen to?
Okay, talking about me, motivational podcast or comedy podcast, or like I listen to such stuff.
Excellent. So let's say you have to go to listen to some podcast for a motivation, some podcast for some interesting trivia, stories, something to listen to, say, for example, entertainment, right? Knowledge seeking, education. There are so many discrete, podcast platforms available. But then, can we have all in one place is a big challenge that today, everybody sees, right? You don't keep jumping into one to another at different points in time.
Yeah.
And the second point is it is available, but it is all too very cluttered. It is all spread over, scattered. Even in the same platform, it is too scattered to actually discover the contents. Discovering contents easily is one of the biggest challenges. And that's how people tend to, when they find it difficult, the mind says, shut off, let's go to next. Quick. Mind wants to take the least path of least resistance. They just want to consume something which is there. So that's the biggest gap. Availability of so many genres in one place, plus most importantly, the ease of discoverability. With a single touch can be listen to something and consume. This is the gap that we identified as very big, and we have kind of got positioned ourselves in that space.
Great. Sir, as soon as you're answering the questions, it is getting interesting. So I want to ask that what is the business model?
Good. Our business model is very unique, right? Okay. I see a number of players who are yet to have who are in a pre-revenue mode, who are much bigger than us. And we even piloted and pivoted a monetization task last year, and it worked. So we know that we can actually monetize as a platform. So we have a very clear vision and a goal in mind. So a podcast that can also make revenue is something very, very unique. And how to do it, what to do it, is something which we have clearly worked out the business model. And that's where we stand different.
Great. Sir, as you said, it's a unique business model. So I want to ask that why people should use Boxit and not any other podcast platform where the same content or similar content is available.
As I said, you have content spread all over. And if you are looking for consuming only quality contents, right? Okay. Like if there are 20 contents, if 18 is junk, then you have a problem, right? But if you have 20 contents and 18 are superb, then yes, typically 18 or 20 out of 20. But then you can come to Boxit, because here it's like one is better than the other. Every podcast that you will listen to, one looks better than the other podcast, right? And we have so much of categories, so many categories, genres, 15 plus genres that we have in the platform, right? From stories, education, media, entertainment, did you know, technology, business. We have a lot of genres that we have spread out with. So, and great amount of contents, which means you can listen at any time as per your moods, as per your needs, as per your desires. And that's how you can be very compelling in terms of consuming these contents. So quality users will definitely look at Boxit because they can find it very easily. That's in one click. It's a one-click login, one-click listen. It's so very easy that Mondays you can listen to motivation, Wednesdays you can listen to entertainment, movies, and all that. It's up to you. How do you want to consume? So that is where we stand very different. And very importantly, like you said, why here? We have jockeys. We call them jockeys who we onboard, and they are onboarded with care. So it is a platform for all, but not all can stream, which means we onboard them. Anybody can apply. They can be onboarded. We shortlist based upon the quality of their content, quality of delivery. Then we onboard them. So any common person can actually become part of Boxit, and which is again pretty a unique one. So the reason I'm trying to say how we are maintaining the kind of quality standards, because it is a curated content.
So talking about the users, as per my knowledge, there are podcasts available from like kids to senior citizens for everyone. So I want to know that who exactly your targeted customers are.
Yes, we have listeners, downloads right from the school children to senior citizens. Okay, they all listen to the platform because it's a variety of content that is available. Now, if you ask in specific who are the majority of the listeners, I would say between 21 and 35 has been the majority of the listeners, so to say. But maybe that could be a larger share of the overall pie. But then we already have somebody in the teens, and we have 70 plus senior citizens as well.
Okay, great. Sir, as I mentioned before, that this is the very first time we have came across a podcast app. So I want to know what are the features of your app and how does it benefits the users?
Okay, so when you talk about features, it's an easy one-click login, right? You download the app. It's a lightweight app. You download it. Right now, it's in Android. We haven't yet built it in iOS. We have plans to release in that as well. So it's a one-click sign-in, whether you have sign-in through socials or a Google or a OTP. It's a simple, straightforward login, and then that's it. You are in, and you can keep consuming contents. You play, and it just keeps playing. You want to shift the genre, just swipe, click the next genre and motivation, and then the motivation audios will continuously keep playing. And you can flip, you can skip, and you can do all of that. So very, very simple. Anybody, I would say, effortlessly will be able to do that.
Great.
And the second thing is the jockeys will be able to record the audio and upload it into the platform through the app itself when they are onboarded. So that facility is also available. And there is always engagement tactics sessions that we keep doing, which means we run polls, we run a quiz. So they can answer quiz and earn reward points.
Great. So what are these 2 to 3 unique features about your app that differs you from your competitors?
First and foremost, it's the ease of use of the app is the very, very interesting thing. It's so simple, and you don't need any kind of lessons to learn. You just open and you can keep listening, number one. Number two, the biggest advantage is that you have every content extremely good. Okay, whichever genre you take, based upon your moods and desires, you can keep consuming great contents, as I said, one better than the other, continuously. And right now it's available in Hindi, Tamil, and English as this one. And another thing is, it's a hands-on, I think, great on-the-move experience, right? With hands-on eyes free. I think if you talk about that as the uniqueness, I think the Boxit will stand right on top. It's a fantastic, on-the-move experience. Of course, there are people who work and keep playing podcast and listen to. I know so many of them do that as well. But I'm saying on the move just because there are a lot of people who want to try something new when they are on the move. So it also gives that kind of a space and relevancy. I think we have built a lot of relevancy to the listeners.
So business actually has, as per my knowledge, they have 2 dead ends. It's the customer and the provider. So as far your app is concerned, it's the jockey and the speaker. So I want to know that why these 2 communities should stick to Boxit.
Okay, so we talked about listeners of in terms of the benefits and how will they get entertained, motivated, stay informed. So I also always tell them that as a user, what do they need? They want some contents that are informative, entertaining. Information can be very dull and boring, like a so-called Wikipedia. I mean, it's interesting, but you can't keep doing that every day in, day out, right? It's for a very small segment. So it should be interesting. It should be informative. It should be exciting and entertaining. I think all the 4 combo is available in Boxit. So which means for the users, there's a fantastic platform and it's free. Okay, everything is free. Now, the second part is the jockeys, right? Jockeys have a voice in the platform, which means it is not for all. You can just say, hello, I'm testing this, and then shoot a audio. No. It'll just go in many of the platforms available. I mean, you can do that as well. Right here, you can't do that.
Okay.
You have to get onboarded as a jockey, and only after onboarding, then you will be able to stream the contents. And the audio contents do have a background music before they actually get streamed live. So there's a process. And so for the jockeys, they feel privileged to be part of Boxit, right? And jockeys get a greater recognition in Boxit because we take care of them. We even motivate them, we train them, we give them directions, we conduct a lot of engagement programs, which completely makes us unique, okay, in terms of acquiring. Otherwise, we would have acquired 10,000 plus audio talks and curated audio talks. If I had left it open, I would have multiplied by 20, 30, 40 times more, right? We would have had couple of lakhs of 250,000 podcasts. The goal is not to get numbers. The goal is to have high quality numbers consistently over a period of time. And that's why jockeys feel I'm a Boxit jockey. They feel pride in saying that.
Yeah. So talking about a podcast platform, there is a stereotypical, image of podcast platforms that there are only audios available. So I want to know from you that have you ever organized any online or offline events for the users or the jockeys?
We in fact scheduled an offline meetup just before the COVID, okay, and we had to cancel it. We booked the venue and we had invited, and we had to drop off the plan. And but it was a challenging time because this needs a lot of physical thing, and it helps you in terms of mindshare, branding, connections, and network. But we can't help it. So we have done a lot of online events.
Great.
Phenomenal number of online events, including big contests. We did some fantastic contests like a Voice of Chennai. So we are headquartered in Chennai, so we were able to mobilize the arsenal to conduct a Voice of Chennai event, where we actually had almost 3,000 votes polled inside the app itself. So which means people, the finals was through the public voting. So people voted through that. And we had a fantastic event that we did. And seeing that this year we again conducted a Little Master storytelling contest. So this is for the children. We did a contest, and of course the parents are the they are the target audience, so to say, who onboarded their children to make them say stories. It's a pan-India event, and of course languages typically Hindi, English, and Tamil.
Yeah.
So that was again successfully done online with the public voting, and the winners were as per the maximum public polls, polled, votes polled. So that's how we did. And we also did a lot of jockey meetups, online jockey meetups, where we do some quiz programs, we do some engagement sessions, engagement programs. We've been doing it very consistently.
Great. So sir, now I want to know that our research team has done a research that you are not alone in this company. So I want to know what is the role of your co-founder?
Okay, so we have two co-founders. One is a she and women entrepreneur. So Purnima, she heads the content acquisition part, content strategy and content acquisition part. And she's MCom MBA from Symbiosis. And well over 12 years of marketing sales operations. And she manages the Tamil English contents, onboarding jockeys, and managing the content strategy. I also have Shakti Sachdev. He's an BCom MBA from University of Greenwich, London. And he also is the founder of Top Prop Mart. And Shakti completely managed the west and north of Hindi content acquisition and English audio talks in those regions. So it's a strong team, yes.
Great. Yeah, I'm sure. So sir, since the starting you're saying that you onboard jockeys and only then they can post their audios or speak on your channel or speak on your podcast platform. So I want to know that how do you onboard those jockeys, and what is the process of it?
Good. All they just need to do is they should have the passion to speak, and they should be a decent speaker. And you open the app and you have become a Boxit jockey button. You click it, and then you are able to fill up your basic information and upload your pre-recorded 2 minutes audio, say for example. And what we look for is the content quality and quality of delivery. Whether are they able to deliver decent content, and are they able to deliver noise-free. most of the times there are a lot of how not to record. We also teach them how not to record, right?
Okay.
So we have some parameters in terms of how do they. And if the content is good and quality of delivery has a challenge, that we call them, we give them, we in fact train them that you can actually do this, switch off the fan and come close to the mic, use a filter, use a T filter. We give them some jugards and hacks as to how to get a great quality podcast in audio without having a high professional setup. So that's how we onboard. So our parameters are very simple. And with that, we have podcasters right from school children to homemakers, to IT professionals, to doctors, to working professionals, to senior citizens. So it's all over. I mean, it's a huge range of podcasters in India as well as outside the country.
Great. Sir, while introducing yourself, you said that Boxit is 2 years old. So I want to know that what is Boxit's recent goals and long-term goals?
Boxit over the last 2 years, if you ask the recent and current where we stand, we have well over 50,000 downloads in the Play Store. Technically, we are present in about 176 countries, but then practically 10 to 20 countries have decent amount of downloads because you have a lot of Indian diaspora all over. And we have about close to 10,000 or more than 10,000 audio talks, well over 600 jockeys, 650 plus jockeys. And we have 3 languages, as I say, Hindi, Tamil, and English. We plan to onboard a few more languages. And we are at a fantastic Play Store rating of 4.8 to 4.9 for a very, very long time now. So if you look at the goal, we would like to, push it to 100K. And we also want to build in this momentum, more user engagements and more visibility and more growth in terms of the numbers of people who listen and number of people who consume this. So that's been the goal. So so the next 1 year we would like to grow multifold, and we have clear plans how to actually achieve that. And also onboarding a new vernacular language in onboard in South is on the works. And launching the iOS version also has been on the cards. So these are some of the things that we have in mind, and we also plan to do some user engagement programs to create a stickiness in the users.
All the very best for that. So summarizing your earlier answer, I would say that basically you have an expansion plan. So I want to know that, are you planning to raise external funds? And if not now, then are you planning to do so in near future?
Yes, we have been approached and we are talking to a few angel networks. It's already on. The discussions are going on. And some are at a good stage, moved at a good pace as well. But we are open. We are exploring options. Not just to raise. Yes, we definitely would like to raise funds. I would call it as a bridge round right now. And then show the growth pretty exponential over the next 12 months time and raise a proper VC round in 12 months time. That's been the strategy and plan. So that way, yes, the discussions are on. So let's see how that transpires too.
It will go great, sir. I hope it will go great because the idea is excellent. Sir, ending this fruitful session, I want to know if you want to appreciate or thank someone from your team or friends and family, then please go ahead. Also, I would love to know the feedback on startup lanes.
Okay, good. So yes, you can't do everything alone, right? So you need a good team. So the co-founders have been doing a phenomenal task, and Boxit team, we have a lean and effective startup team, Boxit team, and they have really stretched themselves very well. And we've been taking care of them. They've been taking care of us. So we are like a family. So if I say thanks to, it's to the founders and the Boxit team who have put in a lot of efforts. And more importantly, we would also like to thank jockeys because who have the confidence in Boxit and they have been seeing it how they have been taken care of. So many thanks to the jockeys as well. And media, we have been featured. In fact, we recently got featured by in the National Startup Awards as the promising app of the year in the podcast, in the audio category, podcast category by the Mint. So that came up very recently. So I think a lot of features did happen. So thanks to the media. And in the same note, definitely we would like to thank Startup Lanes as well, because all of these are known to people, or I would say wouldn't be known to people had you not, shared some interesting stories and thought process and, success and aspirations. You are actually helping the dreams of founders. You are also helping the desires of some of the startups in building a better ecosystem. So in that way, we would like to thank Startup Lanes as well.
Thank you so much, sir. It was great talking to you, and thank you so much for this interview.
My pleasure as well, and I wish you a wonderful 2022 and beyond. Thank you.
Same here, sir. Thank you so much.